What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk. Eboni K. Williams is having somewhat of a meltdown. And of course, this is something that is happening. And I don't want to be biased. Eboni K. Williams did say that she would date a bus driver if he owned the bus, meaning that she's not really hating on blue collar black men. If you own the bus, it's really okay. But most guys don't own the bus, right? She did receive some level of disrespectful comments from black men. Some called her names. This is typical. Okay? We all know that that's how do, okay? I'm not excusing it and it's still wrong, but it's typical. Eboni K. Williams then had all of these responses, emotional responses to the criticism, which you should have known that people on the internet, on social media, are gonna respond. Some of them are gonna have stupid comments. They're not gonna deal with the argument. We already know that people on social media online, they don't deal with positions, they deal with feelings. Now, here's where she went wrong. On Comedy Hype, she decided to take a shot at black men and Kevin Samuels followers by saying this.
Let me tell you why the controversy surrounding my soror, Eboni K. Williams, is so triggering. Black women are the only demographic constantly told to settle or be grateful for the minimum. When the cult leader Kevin Samuels was alive, he kept telling women how they were so ugly and unworthy because they had a child or weren't attractive enough. Now, Eboni, a 39-year-old beauty queen turned lawyer with no children, desires to partner with a man equal to her, and men and pick-me's are in a rush to tear her down and tell her to settle. I want more men to be honest and admit they hate women. You may enjoy sexual relations with them, but many of y'all hate women. The whole internet is in shambles because a woman doesn't want to be the breadwinner and submit to a man she considers mediocre. Whether we admit it or not, who you marry matters. If you marry a broke man, your life will suck, period. I hope my good sis never settles, and hopefully you don't either. I know I didn't.
So again, guys, you heard all of that. And I just want to say, largely, Eboni K. Williams is saying that you guys hate women. You Kevin Samuels followers. You like having sex with women. You hate women. This is what she's talking about. Eboni, let's get back to the point of what the discussion is about. You're dealing with something that we don't know who those people are. We can't prove who those people are. Some of them can be trolls, but you're trying to say that these black men hate women or these men hate women simply because some people called you names. What do men do when they hate women? Can you explain what that behavior is? Okay, because they disagreed or somebody roasted you up. So therefore they hate you. The reality is, Eboni, you said you would date a bus driver if he owned the bus, meaning that you don't know. And here's why a lot of guys in the black community who are blue collar took issue with that. A guy could be a blue collar plumber. And I'm gonna break this down in my next video with April Mason. And he could make $150,000 a year. What if he owned his house? What if he owns 5 houses? What if he owns 10 houses? What if he has $1 million in stocks? See, you're saying that he owns the bus, but you're not talking about the ownership he may have in something else. You ever heard of 401k millionaires? You ever heard of contractors? I'm pretty sure you do. So you don't know what these guys have. My grandfather, or I will call him my step-grandfather, he worked 20 years in the military, okay? Another 20 years, I believe was it Pacific Bell, which is now AT&T? Forgot what it's called. Something like that. Another 20 years. How much money is that, okay? How much money is that? Owns houses he bought years ago. Colorado Springs owns a house, okay? Doing very good. Full pension, $5,000 a month. Benefits. So he might not own the bus, but he owns something greater than the bus. Because you're saying that these black men don't have ownership on the bus. What if they got ownership in something else? Most people don't have ownership of the industry that they're working in, but they own something else. There are a lot of people who work on their job and they own something else. That's why a lot of guys, and I'm not excusing their behavior, but the retorts. So now you want to come out and say that these guys hate women. No, you just don't have a response for what you're talking about. Intelligently, you didn't think about that when you said that. Intelligently, you didn't think about that. You didn't think about the other outcomes. Because a guy can own the bus and own other things. He can own the business. That might not be his passion. And again, you're misjudging people. And also, I've met a lot of people who make a lot of money and they're broke. We're not talking about things like money management. We're not talking about things like discipline financially. We're not talking about those things. So anybody who is, describing that hates women, the reality is, Eboni K. Williams, you have the same evil spirit as it appears that people like Kevin Samuels were talking about. A woman who was exposed to white men, couldn't close the deal. A person who says it's pro-black, but you're dating white, still couldn't get the white man. After what you're talking about, you've lived this lifestyle, your grandfather was this, it still couldn't help you because of your own personal attitude. And I'm not putting things in conjecture, I don't feel. I feel that your record of you being single at 39 is indicative of that. Just think about how you act. Think about how unaccountable you have been in your life, in relationships. So you cannot blame black men for why you're where you are. So you deserve better? Why haven't you already gotten it? You want to empower black men to do better? For what are they going to get dealing with you? That's the thing I want to understand. What man is going to wake up every day and be proud to be dealing with someone like you? What do they get? I just want to know. What do black men get if they get on their level and they deal with somebody like you? Somebody who is heavily feminist, you're a feminist to the core. And I'm talking about the feminism that a lot of black men just can't stand. They're not going to get nothing from dealing with you. Nobody. Which is why the guys who have what they have on your level choose not to deal with you, because there's nothing to be obtained by dealing with you. It doesn't exist. Nothing can be obtained by dealing with Eboni K. Williams, the end. So stop beating around the bush. Stop trying to make the argument about you guys hate women or coming after Kevin Samuels followers and all that. That is besides the point. Those are things you can't even prove. That's a weak argument. Let's deal with your position and why we feel that it's wrong. See, that's what a lot of folks like to do. A lot of women like to argue with their emotions, even those who are lawyers. I mean, you're dealing with something else. I'm not dealing with that. I'm dealing with the concept. You can say you love Jesus and somebody can come in and start roasting you in the comments. So I'm not dealing with that. Deal with the concept. And the concept is you have completely misjudged the guy based off of his career and his inability to own something when you don't know what else he owns. That's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with that or not alone. We're not dealing with feelings here. This is why a lot of these young black men, in my honest opinion, are running around crazy like that, because they're dealing with an environment where they're dealing with feelings, not what's going on. Let's talk about the facts. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe to the bell. We're out.